Welcome to Progressive Short Takes. I'm your host, Joe Firestone. There's been a bit of a to-do lately about the possibility of having an army of poll watchers come to the polls carrying arms, open carrying, where that is legal, supposedly just to observe. But obviously, if they're going to come to the polls with arms, the arms must certainly be meant to create a disturbance, to intimidate, and perhaps to do violence to others who go to the polls, but to vote. And the main purpose may not even be to do that. It may be just to intimidate people from going to the polls on election day at all. Now, I just finished a progressive short take saying that the Republican Party seems to be against democracy, and that as a result of that, through voting over a period of time, we ought to destroy that party, because parties that are enemies of democracy should not be allowed to participate in democratic elections. After all, democracy is not a suicide pact. But I don't favor so much laws or rules. What I favor is that voters understand that a political party that is against a democratic system is not a political party they should ever support. It's a political party they should kill with a lack of votes in election after election. But meanwhile, what should we do about poll watchers who are armed coming to the polls? Donald Trump has called for poll watchers like this all over the United States. Well, we have some people, for example, Nina Jankowicz, who's very well known in the Get Out the Vote field, stating that, quote, if voters encounter any groups discouraging or preventing others from casting a ballot, they should immediately inform a poll worker and call a nonpartisan election protection hotline, 866-OUR-VOTE is one example, unquote. And she goes on to say that election officials across the country should know they have the right to eject poll watchers for disruptions and intimidation, and can call the police if unrest develops outside of the station. And police themselves should be reminded that their job is to protect people's ability to vote, no matter their personal political preferences. Now, all this is good common sense, and I certainly endorse it, but I have to raise the question, is this really going to be enough? If people come to the polls with the express intention of intimidating other people, then how many voters will immediately inform a poll worker and call a hotline when they're faced with poll watchers, quote unquote, who are armed and who are looking dangerous and who are acting like they're fanatics? While it's true, that election officials across the country should know they have the right to eject poll watchers for disruptions and intimidation, and that they can call the police, what good is such a right? What good is such a right against an armed disruption? That is a question we have to ask ourselves. It seems to me we have to have some other things we can do to control people who come to the polls armed to the teeth and who are looking for trouble, who are looking to create disruptions, okay, and intimidations at the polls. Surely we can do more than just call a hotline and call the police. And I think we better figure out what to do about that pretty fast. So I think that's it for this particular progressive short take. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please go to my Patreon account, patreon.com, Joe_Firestone, and please make a contribution. Thank you.